Hello everyone and welcome to our first Flows guide video on this YouTube channel. In today's video we'll be showing you how to set up a product tour inside of Flows. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. So before we get started, make sure you have the Flows SDK installed in your application for everything to work correctly. Now that you're ready, let's create the workflow. Workflows are different user experiences. In our case, it will be the product tour. Now that we have the product tour created, the first thing to do is to add a start block. Start blocks define when and where the user enters the workflow. So every workflow needs one. They can be automatic, which means the user will either enter from when they meet some criteria or through a manual start, which can be triggered in your code. For now, we will just add an automatic start block without configuring any user properties. That way, any user that visits the app will enter the workflow automatically. Next, let's add a tour block. To do that, we can click the blue button under the start block, select the match exit node, and pick the tour block from the right sidebar. The tour block will automatically connect to the start block, ensuring every user that enters the workflow will get to the tour. When configuring the tour, the first thing you can do is configure the trigger. The trigger is basically when a tour should start. So you can select from multiple triggers. For example, when a user navigates to a page, when they click on an element, if an element is on a page, or if an element is not on the page. You can also combine any of these conditions to create more complex triggers. In our case, we will leave this empty, so the tour starts anytime a user visits your application. Okay, now it's time to add actual tour steps. Tours are made out of interactive components like modals or tooltips that can guide the user to key actions, or can also add wait steps to pause the tour until the user completes an action or navigates to a specific page. In our case, let's add a welcome modal to welcome the user. To do that, click Add Steps button, select the model from the library components that come with Flows. To configure the model, click the model in the steps list. Here you can edit the title, body, buttons, and other options that come to how the model actually looks and behaves. In our case, we will just create a simple model that welcomes the user. When configuring the buttons, make sure to select the action. So for the primary button, we will select that when the user clicks it, they will go to the next step. And that's it for the model. Next, let's add a tooltip that will point to an important element in your app, for example, a button. To do that, click the plus button in the steps sidebar and select the tooltip. Click to edit its properties. As you can see, the tooltip has similar properties to the model, with one exception to the target element. Let's fill out the title and get back to the target element a little later. And you can also get the back button. For the target element, you need to give the tooltip a CSS selector that will tell it to which element in your app to point to. You can use an ID or the whole CSS selector. In our demo, we have an ID set up, so we can use that to target. Next, let's add a tooltip that will point to a button and wait for the user to click on it. To do that, again, add a new tooltip and open it. Now, because we will be waiting for this user to click the button, we will not fill out the primary button and just give them a way to go back to the previous steps. And our target is create a dashboard button. To make the tooltip proceed to the next step when the user clicks on the button, you need to set up a wait property here though. Our interaction will be user clicks on an element and enter the element, which is the same element we are pointing the tooltip on. So the create a dashboard button. When set up like this, the tooltip will go to the next step when the user clicks on the button. Now let's just add a finishing modal, and that's it for the tour. Okay, so now it's actually time to test the tour. To test the tour, let's publish a new version by clicking the Publish button in the top right corner. In the Publish dialog, you can select how often the workflow will be shown. In our case, it will be only once. And you can migrate users to a new version. Since we haven't published this tour yet, we don't have to select anything. And then the environment to publish the tour to. In our case, we just have a production, but we recommend creating a staging environment where you can actually test the tours or workflows without publishing to production. In my case, I will just check production and click the publish button. And now the workflow is actually live. Okay, now we can switch to our demo application and see how it goes. So here you have the tour, here we have the welcome model, and the next is the tooltip itself. And here is the tooltip that waits for us to click on the button, and here's the end model. If you are happy with how the tour looks, you can go back to flows and publish the version to production, or make some edits to the content if you feel like to, if something doesn't seem too right, and you can publish it again. So that's it for the guide. If you have any questions, feel free to ask down below in the comments, or you can join our Slack community channel for a quicker response, hopefully. You can find all the links down below under the video, and see you on the next one. Peace.